What's up, people? What's up, people? What's up, people? It is your boy MM2K back again with another episode of SSC Podcast. This is SSC episode 62, and I'm here with your other host of this show, Project Storm. Storm, how are you doing today, my good friend?
Doing pretty good, man. Doing pretty good. The sun is shining. Well, it's peeking through the clouds right now. We're supposed to be getting hit with a big, like some flash floods and stuff later. So I'm not looking forward to that. But what I am looking forward to, man, is talking a whole lot of gaming. A whole lot of moves have transpired recently. MM2K and chat, man. We have to talk about it, y'all. It's just too much. It's too much to keep up with these days. So I can't contain it all. So maybe you all can help me. I mean, maybe y'all can help out. Because,
help
man,
us,
have we been hit with some major moves lately when it comes to cloud gaming, man? We got to talk about all of it.
Absolutely. Like, it's getting tiring with me saying this, Storm, so I'm going to have to stop saying it because we do it all the time anyway. But I like to prep the new people. But today we're going to have some grown-up conversations today.
Uh-oh.
You know what I'm saying?
The last time we had a grown-up conversation, it got real, man.
It's going to get realer. It's going to get realer. Some people might crinkle up the face, but it is what it is. It's game platforms. Ain't nobody writing us a check, and we just got to keep it real here. You know, we kept it real last week when we talked about the fruition of xCloud gaming. If it does come out and it is spectacular, it's not a reason for us Stadia enthusiasts to get all upset and worked up. It's for us to celebrate. You know what I'm saying? Because competition, still sharpens steel. But now that we're in the reality of what we're getting from xCloud, it's having some results. It's having some unintended consequences, Storm. We're going to talk about that. We got a real conversation. And we're going to talk about Rainbow Six Siege. My brother Storm's been all over that, having crazy streams. The homie Grace Yang was up in there. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about new games coming to the platform and a whole bunch of stuff. And of course, directly after the show, we always have an after-hour show where it's always fire. So if you're a member of the Stadia Dosage News platform, you are going to have a treat in store. If you're not, hit that join button below. All right? Don't miss out. It's going to be directly after the show. With that said, let me pay the bills real quick, Storm, and then we're going to get into what you've been playing because that's what everybody's there for. But first and foremost, this is the PNTS Network show. If you don't know what PNTS Network is, it is a collaboration amongst gamers, content creators, all that stuff where we create content, do videos. My brother Project Storm with the crispy 8K now. You know what I'm saying? Definitely check them out. PNTSnetwork.com where you can get all that great content. This is the show that airs normally every Wednesday, but because of my crazy schedule right now, we had to push it back to Thursday. It's normally Wednesday around 2 or 3-ish. Today we're airing at a special time at 3 p.m. This is SSC Podcast, where we talk all things Stadia. But normally, again, check us out on this platform Wednesdays, 2 or 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Just follow us on Twitter or follow the daggone channel, all right? And you won't be lost. Next up, is normally on Thursdays. We won't have it today because of this podcast, but normally on Thursdays, we're working to bring back the Commission Podcast. That is the big PNTS Network powwow where PNTS Network members and friends, we talk all things gaming, console storm, PCs, mobile, cloud, you name it. We talk it all and debate it all, have great conversations. That is going to air Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the MM2K channel once that is revived. So stay tuned and follow MM2K videos over at YouTube for more information on that. Saturdays, we got the show that is hosted by Project Star and myself. That is SML Podcast, where we also do a variety of gaming talk. A lot of it is focused around Stadia and cloud gaming, but we talk about Xbox, PlayStation, all that stuff. Whatever tickles our fancy for that day. But that show is interactive with you, the community. So stay tuned for that show every Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, either on this channel or my good brother Project Storm's channel. The link to his channel is in the description below. Click that so you don't miss an episode. We had a fire episode on Storm's channel last week. Don't miss an episode. Sundays, Big Powwow Sunday. We call it Big Powwow Sundays. First off, it is my brother's Project Storm again. My brother Stadia Revolution on the Revolutionary Storm Podcast. It airs every Sunday, 11 a.m., either on Project Storm's channel again or Stadia Rev's channel. Make sure that you are following both channels again so you don't miss an episode of that. Then my brother Project Storm takes off the Stadia Revolution jacket, put on the Yang Meets Yang jacket, and he co-hosts Yang Meets Yang with Snow Bunny Gaming and the homie Rome Rush. That airs on the Snow Bunny Gaming channel. Check that out. That airs on Sundays, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Storm, is that show coming back this Sunday? Or we holding off because of the 4th, right?
We're gonna push back, man. We might have some changes for Revolutionary Storm because of the 4th. The 4th is on Sunday, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes, sir.
Or something
yes,
like
sir.
that, man. So you know we're gonna make some switches happen. So stay tuned.
Hit some switches.
But I know for Yang Meets Yang of Gaming, that's gonna come back the following Sunday. So check us out. I've already talked to Snow Bunny and Rome Rush about that one. So man, when we do get back, it should be a hell of a show.
Woo! Tell me about it. And it might just be, hey, look, if we can get that damn facelift release finally. I'm still working on that. Bugs, I wouldn't miss it.
Right.
Let me stop, Storm. Let me stop. Let me not do that. We'll handle that behind the scenes. We ain't gonna talk about that live on there. But we get that. Hey, look, that all could be a big powwow with the return of Yang Meets Yang of Gaming, the return of the Commission. That'd be great. So stay tuned for all that stuff. And last but certainly not least, and it's going to air this Sunday, the Number Show for Stadia. That is a show that is hosted by Jack Deslip and myself, where we go over all of this extrapolated data as far as numbers are concerned with Stadia usage, engagement, all that stuff. It's a fantastic show, something different, not really being done elsewhere on YouTube like this. So definitely check it out. The first Sunday of Project Storm. I think I got through everything with minimal.
That's great.
With minor hitches.
Great. Yeah, minor hitches, right? That's great. But yeah, throw that alley-oop off the backboard. Let me catch it with two hands backwards. You know what I'm saying? Backwards alley-oop off the backboard. So we're going to hit this chat up real quick, man. Starting from the bottom to the top. You know how we do. Cloudbusters in the house, man. Saying, let's go, brothers. Heath Stevens is up here. We will stay tuned, y'all. You'll be seeing me, MM2K, Heath Stevens, and some lucky person jumping out of the plane on PUBG in the near future. Stay tuned for those updates, y'all. It's going down. Victor Del Mastro is in the house, man. Victor Del Mastro is in here saying hiya. We got Artorias Towers in the building.
What's up?
Saying Kishi is working again after T-Mobile update when playing Stadia. Man, I know a lot of people been talking about this Kishi, man. It makes me feel like I'm doing something wrong as a desktop gamer, man. I game mostly on the desktop. Some CCU and all that. The OG CCU is a classic, the Chromecast Ultra. But I'm hearing so much about this Google TV, and I'm sure we have that in the notes somewhere. If we don't, it'll rear its head. It's beautiful head. I guarantee you during this show. We got Collins Dynasty, man. Sean L in the building.
Collins.
Stadia Doses News is in the house. The Boy Project Storm, man. Randy B, Ray Sherrod, Mikkel Swinney, and G Million. G Millie is in the house, y'all. Now, if you are in the house and you're lurking, that is fine. But if you want to speak up, just show yourself whenever you get ready. Do what you want to do. It's a party, y'all. But MM2K,
yes, sir.
Are you ready? Are you ready,
man? We you know
So,
what we here for, brother. We here to hear the variety of games that you've been playing since last show.
all right, I could throw some out there, man. I have not touched for the first time ever.
Uh-oh.
And I blame Rainbow Six for this. I gotta call Ubisoft, man. Um I need to call everybody responsible for the game engine, the artists. I need to talk to everybody responsible for Rainbow Six Siege, man. Even though this game is launched already, y'all, years ago.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first time I've never touched a pro title, man. I didn't even claim. Listen, y'all, because of Rainbow Six Siege, I didn't even claim my pro titles until today when Charles Orange, shout out to Charles, I'm sure he'll pop up in the building
postman.
sometime. At some time, the postman he'll be here. So he reminded me today to hit that claim all button. For all of you don't know where to find that button, you scroll all the way down to where your captures are. I know on the desktop it's like that or whatever. I'm sure it's the same for cell phones. Somebody can help us out with that if you know, because I don't use mobile devices when I play Stadia, right? I have tried it. It works pretty well and it's cool. And shout out to Doc Dark and others, man. Doc Dark is out there telling people that it's so dope, man. And I'm hearing about this Razer Kishi and stuff, man. The NVIDIA Shield Pro, Android TV, man, Chromecast with Google TV. I'm hearing about so many ways to play Stadia, and MM2K is frankly is making me sick, man. It's making me sick because damn, Stadia, why? Why can't y'all slow y'all roll, man? Like you don't have to show everybody. Now, Stadia, listen. I know that the haters don't know what the hell they're talking about. I know that there's some people that still doubt what you all are doing over there. But Stadia. Y'all don't have to give us everything. I know we said it was going to be a big Stadia summer. I know MM2K and I said that, as well as Sunny Cloud Gaming and others, right?
Yes, sir.
But man, listen, Stadia, hold on. Y'all don't have to, you don't have to do all this. Like you don't have to turn up to 100 before you hit 10.
Yeah.
I mean, Stadia, just say some of that, man. We got the fall coming up, please. So with that being said, man, who else we got up in here? Ashes to Ashes is in the building.
Yo.
He already knows what's going down. Ashes knows what's going down with this Doom Eternal. I tell you that. He had me ready for this Doom Eternal, y'all. We're going to talk more about that during the show. Dylan Tortosa is out there.
Dylan.
Next we go hard, man. Me and him and Bibbidi Bop was just in the chat the other day coming up with a way to play Rainbow Six Siege. I got to watch Rainbow Six Siege, y'all. I have to make sure that I go on a Siege diet. Now, I know some of y'all like, what? Where they do that at? But I have to be careful because if I get in this trap with Bibbidi Bop and Knicks We Go Hard, you know what I'm saying, and Daryl Smock Jr. and others that's trying to get me out there playing games with them, man, and Heath Stevens and them, I don't know, y'all. I might fall back into that Destiny 2 hole that me and MM2K keeps talking about that almost got us both divorces and death. You know what I'm saying? So I got to be careful, y'all. We'll see how it shakes out, but I am looking forward to playing with the people, man. Let's go. Randy B is in the building, man. Predator is down there. I'm ready to kick the show off, man.
Hey,
what about MM? I was playing, so I've been playing. Oh, my bad. Doom Eternal. We'll talk about that. Rainbow Six Siege. And a lot of Doom Eternal on multiple platforms, and of course other games, man. But who cares about all that? What have you been playing, bro?
Well, before I get into that, I want to shout out to Cloud Gaming Dad up in the house.
Go ahead.
Yo, Cloud Gaming Dad, Predator. We got Sneaky Ray, Sean L, and Dylan Tortosa. We got everybody. All right, shout out to y'all. No. You know what I've been playing? I've had a crazy week, man. Like I said, my wife's recovery. It's taking a little bit longer, so really the first several hours of every day, I'm dealing with her, and we're going back and forth and making sure everything is okay. Everything is progressing fine, so Miss M2K is doing good.
Good.
But then I try to play when I can, and it's really just been a lot of Madden. Most of it is Madden. I got brave, and I started my own franchise, and and it was funny, Storm. Madden was supposed to fizzle out on the platform, but it went from 9,000 franchises like the first, month or something like that to now, I see 40,000 franchises. 40,000.
Now, remember the last time we talked about it, we highlighted that it was only 30-something thousand. And I said it seemed like the number was growing. Now, I also see more people on the rank mode, man. Now, when we get into this show and start talking about Rainbow Six and how it damn near broke Stadia yesterday, in my opinion, because I did have some issues that I'm not seeing today. Seems like everything is stabilized today. In the chat, if you all in the chat had issues or whatever of any sort, We might be able to pinpoint that and blame that on Rainbow Six Siege, but we love the game, so let's have a party.
Yep. So, yeah, I've been playing that. I'm looking for a title because there's so many. I'm looking for a title to be my first look this week. It might be one of the pro games. You know what I mean? So we'll see. I gotta jump in that Rainbow Six Siege. So, you know, I need my homie when he's available to carry me on that. I might not be able to get into that until tomorrow, but we'll see. But really, it's been a lot of Division 2 and a lot of Madden, man. And I can't wait until once we get her regiment balanced and stuff like that, and she's, you know, more recovered, it'll be the normal show. But until then, and we spoke about you mentioned this earlier. The great thing about Stadia is that it's so versatile, Storm. I mean, you could damn well play this thing on a soup can. And you talked about the Razer Kishi. I'm gonna tell you, the Razer Kishi right now for me is live. you combine that with the PWA app. Oh my! Or the PWA via the Chrome browser on the phone. Jesus! I mean, it's wonderful. It's fantastic. So I urge you to I know you at home, you in the Ultra Man Cave, you out there with the laser beam shooting everywhere, and you got the AK TV. But just, you know, if you're at the kitchen or something, just give it a try. You know, so the Razer Kishi's worth it. I think it's like marked down considerably. I think you can find one with the Hammerhead headsets for like $40 at a Walmart or something. You know what I mean? So give it a try, man. But it's great being able to play. Like first, when I was doing it, Storm, I was just tinkering with it, and I put, like you said, like put it down, like, oh, that was cool. That was a cool experience, but not one I'm going to do all the time. But ever since they came out with that PWA app, bruh, I can't stop. It's like Pringles, man. So definitely check it out. Yeah,
that's great. And see, that's the thing. We don't have an issue. I don't have a personal issue. Hey, however you want to play Stadia, play it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? If you want to play it on your toaster, do it. Refrigerator, all that. I've seen it happen before. Refrigerator, treadmill, car radio head unit, and all that stuff, man. Like I've seen Stadia played in some strange and cool places. Yep. So, however you want to do it, y'all, you know I'm with it. But I tell you right now, if it can't give me that desktop setting, that 120, y'all don't understand. Give me 2 minutes during the show to talk about this one more time, and then I'm gonna just go ahead and I'm not gonna share it with anybody else. Don't say I didn't tell y'all. It is what it is, though. But I just need 2 minutes at some point when we start talking about these new features and these games and all that.
He said, my brother said, if it ain't rough, it ain't right. He ain't trying to do not less than 120 desktop settings. I got you, brother.
It just makes it feel so good, y'all. It makes it feel so good. That's all.
Absolutely. With that said, I think we can get started, man, because there's not a lot of subjects, but a lot to dig into with our main subjects, man. First and foremost, damn it, Storm, Rainbow Six Siege, brother. So let me see if I can bring it up here.
With it right now. You're gonna bring it up first.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring it up first. Let me see if I can bring this up first. Let me see. Up there you go. OBS. If you don't, let me. I gotta check and make sure they don't put the government out here. You know how I do. You know how I'd be cutting up. Yeah, it's cutting up. I'm glad I did it this way, Storm. It was cutting up.
Shouldn't have that in the window anyway. You have 50 windows open, man.
Exactly. You know how I do it. All over the place. All right, let me see. Web view. There we go. Properties. We got to fix you, baby. We got to fix you. Firefox. Wii U mad. What the hell is it? Why is there a Wii U mad? Okay, there we go. That was weird. I got no Wii article up. But now let's do it, baby. There you go. There y'all have it. Now let's make it bigger for the people in the back. This is an article, Storm, from about Rainbow Six Siege on Stadia, available on Stadia at 85% off for pro members. This is courtesy of the good people at 9 to 5 Google, the homie Kyle Bradshaw. It says Ubisoft Plus now is offering deep Stadia integration in many more countries, and in support of the subscription, Rainbow Six Siege and more are coming to Stadia. Update 630, Rainbow Six Siege has formally launched for Stadia. Ubisoft expanded its all-access $15 a month subscription to let players enjoy the publisher's full library of games and DLC on Stadia. More recently, Stadia has gained direct integration with Ubisoft Plus by allowing players to subscribe directly within the app. And also, right on schedule, Rainbow Six Siege has officially launched in the store. Coinciding with the launch, Stadia Store is discounting the Ultimate Edition for Pro members, bringing it down. Listen to this, y'all. Listen to this. Bringing it down from $99 to a whopping $15. Even if you aren't a Stadia Pro member, it would be cheaper to pay for 1 month of Pro at $10 and buy the Ultimate Edition for a total of $25 rather than buy the lowest tier of Rainbow Six Siege, which is $39.99. Hey, that's what I'm saying. Look, Kyle just dropped the bomb on you. Storm, we got to get your thought. We need you to pick up the pieces. We need you to talk about this, bro. What are your thoughts? Not only on, we can start with what are your thoughts on the sale? But people want to know what your thoughts on the performance of the game. What do you think about this accessibility at this low price for Rainbow Six Siege?
I think that's the most phenomenal value. I mean, we keep hearing over and over how Stadia, the games are more expensive over there and everything, on Stadia, man. Like Stadia don't have no sales. Stadia has so many sales. Please, Stadia, continue to have sales, right? But you don't have to turn up to 1,000, you know what I'm saying, before you skip 10. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's crazy how much value we've gotten out of Stadia, y'all. Like it's crazy. You know what I mean? I'm a Pro subscriber. I've been that way since the first time I could. We got 5 months without having to pay a dime for Pro and all that.
Yes,
you know what I mean? When Stadia launched, hey, they just been so generous, right? We got to keep that in mind. And then I was ready to start paying for what I was experiencing, man. I couldn't wait to give Stadia my $9.99 USD. I couldn't, sir. And it's still the same way, man. So I'm out here. And I'm looking at all this value, all these sales and all this stuff, all these ways for different people to try the service for free and then buy a game on the low. You're not even mad if you don't like Stadia after that because you just bought the game on the super low.
$15.
Y'all hear what I'm saying? You hear what I'm saying, y'all? Like you're not even mad because you just spent that $14.99 or whatever, that $10, that $8. And I'm hearing people talk about as low as 7-8 euros and all that. See, I had to go European with it, man. 7-8-9 euros for certain titles, man. Like good games at that. And look, right? Then when you buy the game, now you have to deal with the fact that you're about to be blown away by some of the best performance. If your internet connection allows, right? If it allows some of the best performance that you're ever gonna see, probably in your life. Not even just on the cloud, y'all, but this is what we're dealing with over here when we talk about Google Stadia, right? Now, Rainbow Six Siege, y'all, overall, masterpiece, master class, classic, awesome port, best game that has already launched years ago, the GOAT. All that comes to mind, right? When I think about what I experienced yesterday, I have not touched the game today. I'm almost afraid of it because it's that damn good. Now, I knew that Ubisoft had the skills, y'all. I knew that they had the potential. We've seen games like the Division 2 and others that's just running so buttery, y'all. We've seen it already, right? But I would have never thought MM2K that I would be playing a game that looks the way that it does. I played the next gen console version of the game with updated graphics and all the HD textures and all that stuff, man. I played it briefly on PC last night. This Stadia version that we have right here of Rainbow Six Siege, y'all, is just, man, I don't even know what else can I say? I did a stream yesterday. MM2K, he hinted at it earlier. I'm in there minding my business, talking trash. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a school bus on this one level, and I'm on the bus. I'm talking straight cash money trash. Everybody that was in there yesterday, you know what I'm talking about. So I'm sitting up there like I'm the bus driver, sitting behind the steering wheel, talking trash. Why would you not want to play on Stadia when you got Rainbow Six looking like this game, a game that millions of people play? Right? I'm having fun. I'm letting the MF fly and everything, man. It slipped out. Right? At that point, I realized, I said, damn, man, I'm still streaming. It was that good, y'all. Now I didn't care. I was getting mollywopped. That means dragged. I was getting my ass handed to me by PC players, and it felt so good, man. Like in the strangest way, y'all. I know it sounds weird, but it felt so good getting my ass kicked by these PC players and Luna, possibly Luna players, and definitely some Stadia players. But it felt so good. I mean, like the clear, pristine graphics, man, the fireworks in the sky. I have screenshots and captures of it all, y'all. And I have a stream that y'all could check out. Go to my channel, Project Storm Stadia, Project Storm 4K, Project Storm 8K, all that. You can type it all in on YouTube and you're going to come to the same place. Project Storm Rainbow Six Siege stream from yesterday. Now, I'm doing all this stuff, right? Having a good old time. And all of a sudden, one of the nicest, coolest individuals that could ever pop up pops in. And that's Grace Yang, man. Now, y'all
Shout
know
out
we
to
talk
Grace.
about Grace. We always give Grace her flowers, you know what I'm saying, while she's here and everything, doing what she does over there as a community manager and just being one of those people that's cool, you know, jumped in the stream with Meg yesterday, had fun, you know what I'm saying, retweeted State Nerd Nest stream and all that good stuff, man. Like just do it. See, she couldn't retweet mine, y'all, because I was up there letting it fly. You know how I do it. I'm sorry, I can only be Project Storm, y'all. So, but it was just it was such a cool. Hey, look, I can't even say Wrong Yeezy in there, man. Yeezy's been holding up pretty nice. I haven't heard Wrong Yeezy's name in so long, man. I hope he pops up in the
Hey,
chat.
Storm, I'm gonna be right back, but
Do your thing.
But the questions while you're answering that, make sure, because I know the people want to know this from you. They don't care what I think. They want to know the stream quality, the frames.
Oh,
Then
man,
let's just talk about the FOV sliders and all the other stuff and how you rate the port, all that good stuff. But I'll be back.
We're gonna get into it all. We're gonna get into it all. Now, listen. So here it is, right? You all seen the stream. You played the game. If you got your paws on the controller or the keyboard and mouse and you were able to experiment with that game, I haven't heard one negative comment yet about it. And maybe somebody had some a hard time. You know what I'm saying? Maybe there was a new Stadia user or something like that. But I haven't heard any negative complaints about the game. All I heard was people saying how much they love it. All I know is that for the first time in a long time, I had major hiccups, consistent hiccups. I won't say major, but I had consistent hiccups yesterday. Me, Bibbidi Bop, and I don't know if other people, I don't know if you all had the same kind of hiccups with Stadia. It was like the kind of hiccups that says that maybe thousands of people, or it felt like maybe 1 million people jumped on this cloud service and tried to game yesterday on Google Stadia because Rainbow Six dropped on that and they realized they didn't have to do that 70 to 90 gig update that you had to do on PC and other places. Maybe maybe it has something to do with it. Maybe, just maybe, somebody somewhere realized that, Rainbow Six is sold in the tens of millions of copies or whatever, or has that many players. I'll say that much. It has that many players worldwide. It's one of the biggest games out right now, still to this day. And the game is only going to evolve and get better. The developers already told us, right? So maybe that has something to do with it. But as far as the performance go, and then I'm going to look at the chat in a minute, I saw 60 FPS when I first touched it, but I didn't even care about that. Now, this right here might blow some people's mind. I didn't even care about the FPS so much because I was like, how the hell am I? What? I had to make sure I opened the window to make sure I wasn't playing on my 3080 by accident because I had the game installed on my desktop. You know what I mean? To compare it to the Stadia version when I get a chance to. It looked clean, y'all. It felt like ridiculous. It made me think that Stadia is doing something behind the scenes, which I know that some games like Doom Eternal are already taking advantage of some of this next level Stadia experimentation and upgrades. Y'all, it's crazy, man. But let me see what you all are saying right now because I don't want to be the only one talking about the game right now. So Ashes said, yeah, for sure. And MM2K, now Ashes came in and he brought up a good point. I saw Chase echo it on Twitter and all that stuff about the FOV slider, the field of view for all of you non-PC gamers, all you gamers that don't go into settings or whatever, that don't even care about this kind of stuff. Like my brother Stadia Revolution, but he's cool. He's cool with me. No, I'm messing with y'all. Rev does care about this stuff. He told me several times he cares, man. But look, The field of view slider would definitely be beneficial to a game like Rainbow Six Siege because it widens the view. Like it lets you see where your enemies are coming from. Like say you're in a hallway and you need to know who's coming down the stairs or who's in the room. Like when you run by that room, like it just shows more of what's on the screen, like in a wider view. So that's why mainly PC gamers they take full advantage of the FOV slider and stuff like that. It would be advantageous, but there was something about, and I said to Ashes right when he was in the chat. I like having the up close and personal camera the way it is because it made it more intense. Like I watch others play the game. Meg has never really played Rainbow Six Siege like that, if I'm not mistaken. She was having a good time, right? She was you could just see the intensity in her eyes when she was playing. Sunny Cloud Gaming. Shout out to Sunny. I saw Sunny on the game, right? Same thing. Sunny was like, oh my God, I'm scared. I don't want to go over there. He was scared. He was scared. I don't care, Sonny, what you say. You know you were scared, bro. You know you were scared. Oh, I felt the same way. I compare it to PUBG. There's only two games that can scare me the way Rainbow Six did as far as intensity level goes, and that's PUBG and that's Rainbow Six Siege. And it was crazy, y'all. It was just crazy, man. It was mind blowing. So with that being said, the game overall is definitely, I saw confirmations that it is like 60 FPS up to 4K because I don't know if we got that native badge yet. It looks like native 4K, but forget all that. Forget all that. Let's see what you all are talking about real quick. Hold on. Says, yeah, I get what you're saying on enjoying the franticness. My bad. The franticness. I got you. Yeah, man. It's intense with a shotgun or an enemy pops out of nowhere and just all of a sudden you're face to face with him and you got to pull that trigger before. It was crazy, y'all. So we got Knicks We Go Hard said Rainbow Six is flawless, as smooth for me, but I play on the CCU, and there's nothing wrong playing on the OG CCU, man. There's nothing wrong with it, especially if the game performs like it does. And I see you Cloudbusters down here. Judgment is great. FK, let me see. You said, Rainbow Six. Judgment. All right, so yo, you can't disrespect Rainbow Six at all in no form or fashion, man. Judgment is a hell of a title. I gave it King of Ports, the King of Ports badge when it first dropped. It was that good of a port, and it still is. And I can only imagine if they've done any kind of optimization since the game launched on Stadia, that's just gonna make it even better. So Judgment is definitely a classic, man. We got let me see. Great value. All right, so we got the boy LCN. Elknu will say, man. All right, 12 euros for Rainbow Six Siege is great value. Ubisoft really are looking out after us well on Stadia. And that is the point right there. That's what I want to go into next, right? When you think about all the other games that Ubisoft can bring, all the upcoming ones and all that, right? All the ones like Splinter Cell and all that stuff, and the older Rainbow Six games and the Ghost Recon games from back in the day, they could bring eventually, if they decide, you know what, man, we're gonna give Stadia even more. Like they could bring these titles back, like Beyond Good and Evil and all that stuff that people love, that they cherish, right? So they have all those retro titles they could bring back, and then the new upcoming titles, all the way up to the recently announced Avatar game or whatever that's going to be using the next gen Snowdrop engine that looks amazing, cutscene wise, CGI wise, looks amazing, y'all. Like if it could just produce a fraction of those visuals, it's going to be insane. Now we know that they're going to have to use next gen tech, all that stuff, man. So I think it's safe to go ahead and start like saying out here that Stadia is really making some kind of moves as far as performance goes and maybe upgrading. It's just been like there's too many signs that shows that Stadia is possibly ready to upgrade or whatever, or they've been doing it behind the scenes. And I do hope they'll come out and say we have upgraded y'all a little bit. We have done things like Doom Eternal is now running at 120 FPS. Because when I jumped on Doom Eternal today, y'all, there's two things I have to report real quick. But before I do that, let's go back through this chat again. We got Kenry in the house, y'all. Hey, everyone, just hopping in, man. We appreciate you. Nice to see you. And we always enjoy hanging out with everybody that shows up to join this conversation, man. We have here Randy B. I want to see. Siege looks amazing, especially on the Chromecast with Google TV, y'all. which I still need to get my hands on. I'm hearing too many things. Like there's really a noticeable difference, y'all. So go out and get that Chromecast with Google TV if you could get your hands on it. The price is just unbelievable for the performance that I'm hearing that you're getting and all of the other features that it brings. All right, go check it out. Wrong. I know this ain't no. I know this isn't wrong. Easy in the house. Stop the show. Wrong Yeezy is in the house. Came to join the conversation about this Rainbow Six Siege, man. It's good to see you as always, Wrong Yeezy, man. You've been doing big things. You have not been that hard on Stadia and all that. So I appreciate you, man. Keep doing what you do and get to 10 million subscribers, man. Do your thing. Um, we got Cloud Gaming Dad said, "Oh crap, Streamlabs just updated. That's all my settings up the wall." Yo, I gotta check that out, man. I never go into the actual updates and check things out on Streamlabs or whatever. Man. I need to do that more often. Next week, Go Hard said PC was talking smack about Stadia and a Rainbow Six game. Then I told him I was on Stadia and he was shocked. All right. So he said he questioned latency and I told him I had no issues. I told him not to talk about something, blah, blah. All right, you never tried. Yeah, but that's going to happen, man. I just muted my chat because I had the first time I hopped on the game, I had a young kid, probably 11, 12 years old, screaming in my ear, man. At that point, I realized I need to turn that off. So yeah, I don't do all that, the conversation stuff when I play. I'm into the experience. And doing the stream yesterday, man, like I said, I had so much fun. Like the game was so intense. Like when you first try it, it's gonna probably blow your mind that it looks so good and performs so well. So I had to go in and change my controller sensitivity and all that stuff, man. And when I did that, it was all on me. But I was so nervous and so excited at the same time and trying to do a stream and read chat and all that stuff. Then I had Grace Yang in the building, who's a gamer, a ferocious gamer at that, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a little bit of pressure, man. That's a little bit of pressure. Now, I think I did okay though. And then the stream crashed. My PC got, I guess it overheated or something. It was hot, like 95 degrees yesterday. And I had to do a stream because Rainbow Six was out. So I guess my PC wasn't having it. But I was able to recover that, y'all. And we closed it out in a good way. Stadia Revolution says Stadia has always been a platform. And that is true. That is true, man. That is true. Especially one of the only platforms with a storefront out here, right? Said, let's see, Caliber Killer is in the house, man. Good to see you up in here. Now, so we're going to move on, right? I want to talk a little bit of Doom Eternal while I have a chance before MM2K comes back. So Doom Eternal, recently I saw the patch notes or whatever. Shout out to Marcus G. Knight, who put out there, who just reminded me, Ashes reminded me on Series X that it was coming or whatever, right? And I tried the game on PC. I tried it on Xbox Series X. It ran better, smooth on Xbox Series X than my PC with a 3080 in it. Now, I don't know why that was the case. Maybe it was 1800p upscaled or whatever it was. Who cares? It was phenomenal on the Series X, right? Phenomenal on the PC. But then I got back to Stadia and I said, yo, Rainbow Six is out today. Let me see what Doom Eternal is doing, right? So I booted the game up, I jumped in, and I noticed instantly, at first there was no change. There was no change, right? And I was like, oh, it's just the same old game. You know, the gun is still, which is a tremendous game, by the way. It's only one of my top 2 games of all times, at least on Stadia, right? So, but the gun still looked kind of silverish or whatever. You know what I mean? You can immediately tell, like it looked like it does on xCloud and Xbox right now. Now, the Series X version, of course, has the ray tracing reflections and all that good stuff going on. So it's beautiful over there. But the older version, I'm assuming is the Xbox One X or whatever version, you can still, on xCloud, you still can see that same silver shotgun or whatever, right? Whereas now it looks blackish on Stadia. And it has more reflections than it's ever had. The reflections are cleaner in more places on the gun. And I'll be showing y'all this when I go live. I don't know if it's going to happen today, but I do intend to go live soon, so stay tuned. But there's something about the game. It definitely looks better. But at the same time, introduce, well, whenever there's a patch, there might be an issue that might be introduced, right? So there's some shadow issues going on. So if you see some kind of weird textures on the ground, like there's a problem with the shadowing and stuff like that, then you're not going crazy. It's not just you. It's something that's going on that they need to iron out a little bit. But other than that, the game feels like it is native 120 FPS. Now, I saw some buzz out there that hasn't been confirmed that it was just flat out that was not the case. It came from a developer or somebody on Bethesda said something. I remember sending me that tweet, right? But I don't care about that because I'm telling y'all the game performs super well. It looks good. And that's all I need to say about that game. Let me see what you all are talking about again. I know he had to handle something, y'all, with the wife or whatever. So I'm at the helm and I'm going to do what I want to do. So Victor said you need a fan on that PC. Nah, you know what? I don't, because I have an AC. I had the room. I have air conditioning here. It's in my media room, right? My house, the 2-car garage was finished off into a media room when I got it, right? And that's what I need. I have a basement, but it's unfinished, right? So I temporarily use this room as my man cave. So of course there's a window AC. I'm looking into getting a wall AC, but it does the job. It cools the room down. I get too cold when it's on, right? But I couldn't have the noise while I was trying to do the stream, and that's what the issue was right there, Vic. Cloud Gaming Extreme is in the house. What's going on? Rainbow Six on Stadia is dope. Great experience. And I saw y'all. I was over there checking that out. I saw Chief break down the whole thing. And it felt good to know that somebody out there, Jim Stadia and others, were able to say that the game was great, because that's what I was feeling, man. But I was kind of hesitant, though. I didn't want to tell people the wrong thing, because what I was seeing was just too good to be true, So I will say that. Cloudbuster said, being honest, I wish Stadia would slow down. My wallet is empty. Man, look, all I'm saying with all these games, I probably hit 100+ games now in my library. I think I might have caught up. See, I'm not near Ray Sherrod levels, y'all. I'm not up there with Stadia Revolution and all these other big time gamers that has every game in the library. I can't catch up to them, but I'm trying, and Stadia Pro is helping me. So we got Bibbity Bop right here, man. For some reason, y'all, I don't know how I'm skipping y'all in this chat. Something's going on. Bibbity Bop said GTV, aka Google TV, is good for other cloud gaming platforms too. And we're going to talk about the other cloud gaming platforms, but I want MM2K to definitely be a part of that discussion. So we're going to hold off on that. And then we're going to talk xCloud, like you said earlier. We're going to talk GeForce Now and others. And we got to talk about all these moves that's happening, man, and how people perceive cloud gaming right now. Now that xCloud is out there and, they're doing big things, it's released to everybody, all Game Pass users and all that stuff, man. We're going to be talking about all that, so stick around. Monkey Boy is in the house saying, what up, Storm? What's the deal with you, bro? I appreciate y'all stopping through, man. We got Allah Ashal Yip. Hey, good to see you. If I messed the name up, y'all, it's all good in the hood. It's all good. We just having fun. Said it's a good port, though. All right. It's good to see you up in here. Always remember, y'all, come back. Be a part of the discussion, man. There's a lot to talk about over here. Cloud gaming is just making so many moves, and Stadia seems to be in the driver's seat, so to speak, man. To me, at least. That's just my opinion. I mean, some people might feel otherwise. GeForce Now might be there for you. Luna might be there for you. PS Now might be there. xCloud might be there, man. Who cares? We're all going to the same place, and that's the cloud promised land. Kessel Runner said, what's up, everyone? Let me see. Bibbity said, Rainbow Six will be my #1 game for a while. And I can see that happening, but just think again, y'all. Think about it, all right? So we get a game like Rainbow Six Siege. And I know some people out there like, man, let me yawn real quick. I've been playing this game for years now, man. You Stadia fans over there, Stadians are happy to have Rainbow Six Siege. And I'm like, well, this is a game that is played by millions of people. You add in crossplay with PC and Luna. That's pretty dope, right? If that's still not impressive enough, that's a game that's still highly supported. They're already talking about evolving the game and all that stuff. So that's Rainbow Six Siege we're talking about. That's no slouch. You know what I mean? It's a game that I'm sure brought hundreds of players at the minimum. Yesterday, I'm sure it brought hundreds, if not thousands. It felt like millions to tell you the truth, with all the performance issues I was having when I logged in. And then how about the fake out, y'all? We got to talk about the Google Stadia fake out, right? On Twitter, when Stadia. All right. Mic
Audio
check.
should
Is
be
the
back
chat?
now.
Are we back?
Yeah, it should be back. I was trying to. I'm still down here taking care of something that was only supposed to be 10 minutes, but this is crazy. But you killing it, brother. But I
Nah,
was trying to
man.
remote.
It just cut out. That's all.
Yeah, I was trying to remote connect, but you should be good now. Give me 5 more minutes. This dude's almost done.
I got you. Got
All
you.
right.
So we're gonna jump into it. We're gonna jump into it, y'all. The next topic. We're gonna jump into xCloud, right? We gotta talk about xCloud and how it came in and shook up the industry. There's some people out here, y'all, that's saying that a few people, and I've talked to a couple of them. At first, they were super excited about it, and we're gonna be honest. We're gonna be honest here, right? Super excited about xCloud, right? Um, just the possibility to be able to play games anywhere is what I was told by one of my good homies that I talk about all the time. Watch Kenny Die, man, for example, right? He was strongly in favor of xCloud and he literally said, xCloud, man, it's over for Stadia, right? It's over. It's over. It's nothing they could do, man. xCloud is here. They messed up and let xCloud take over and get up in the game and all that stuff. That's what he said. So I said, yo, I said, I don't know if that's the case, man. I don't know if that's the case. Stadia's making moves as well. Have you done any research lately to see exactly what they're doing? And he was like, of course, no, because nobody ever they don't do research, man. And the naysayers and the doomsayers and stuff, they don't do research. They just say what they want to say, and that's it, right? So I'm like, yo, I've tried xCloud. It's dope. I mean, there's some games that runs very well, but it's just not on the level of Stadia yet, in my opinion. It's just not there, period. So he's like, I'm telling you, xCloud is going to dominate. It's xCloud. It's just an extension of Xbox. Like it's just so I'm like, okay, I see all that. All right. But the conversation continued. It trickled on throughout, in the gaming community or whatever, at least in the cloud gaming community where people were talking more xCloud than they've ever been talking. So it seems like there's a certain level of confidence. And this is just my opinion, it's my belief, right? Seems like there was this newfound confidence that now that xCloud was here, that Stadia would be in trouble, like big trouble. But it didn't shake out that way, y'all. It didn't shake out that way because Stadia had already said that they were going to be released on multiple devices like Android TV, Google TV, and all this stuff, these different TVs and all that. So I said, yo, to me, this kind of feels like a bit rushed. It feels like it was a bit rushed coming from Xbox, kind of like we need to do this right now. Google is picking up momentum. Stadia, yeah, and I want to hear what you all have to say. I know is doing his things. I got to let my bro do what he has to do because family comes first, y'all. So bear with us. He'll be back, I promise, right? But in the meantime, let me keep the control of the microphone. So it's like with all the moves that Stadia was making, I feel like, because I know if I'm say I'm in charge of xCloud or whatever, that whole division or whatever, man, I'm gonna be like, yo, we need to do something because we don't want Google out here potentially upgrading on us before we can hit the ground running at 1080p 60, right? So I've said this before because you'll see one company do something, then you'll see another company react. Like Luna's jumped into it as well, where you'll see Luna do something and say, hey, we got all these content creators. And it would come right after we had heard complaints about Stadia not having YouTubers backing the product and stuff like that, right? It was just real fishy, like real funny how these things were happening. But again, I felt like it needs to happen as competition or whatever, right? But some people just can't see, y'all. They just cannot see anything good. They can't see the potential of what Stadia is going to bring to the market, what Stadia has already done as far as coming first on the scene with up to 4K 60 in the cloud. That's still mind blowing, y'all. That's still mind blowing. And before Stadia, you had only heard of like Shadow and others like on the PC side, even coming close to those types of resolutions and performance and stuff, FPS. So I was always like, yo, Microsoft has all these games. Yes, they had that lineage, they had the history, their Xbox, everything carries over, achievements, eventually smart delivery and all that stuff everything that they're working on is gonna be baked into the cloud. And that's gonna be cool. That's gonna be something to take notice of. But right now, y'all, the way I feel is Stadia has Google. And I've said this numerous times, right? Luna has Amazon to back it. xCloud has Microsoft to back it, or Xbox, right? To back it. Stadia has Google. You see what I'm saying? That's a three-headed dragon right there, y'all. A three-headed dragon right there. Okay. So if you and if you talk about xCloud, you really have to talk about Google and Stadia, like in the same breath, because I know a lot of people are like, man, this is Microsoft we're talking about. One of the richest companies in the world. And I'm like, damn, dog. So Google is broke now. They're poor. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, man. Let me do my thing. Let me do my thing, man.
Brother.
Now it's the storm takeover. It's the storm takeover, man. Bear with me. Deal with it. You know what I'm saying? We still got 36 watching. I appreciate all of y'all. Hey, let me tell you something. Don't make me do it, man. I drop a giveaway right now or something. I appreciate y'all hanging with your boy, man, and letting my brother do his thing, man, because family.
Shouldn't he have his own show, y'all? Tell me right now. I was downstairs listening.
Man, I got my own show. Don't worry about that.
Shouldn't he have another show like this? He was killing it, wasn't he?
Nah,
Put
man.
one in the chat.
Nah. Wait a minute. I got my own show called Negative Latency. You know what I'm saying? It's just it's just in the beginning stages. I'm still working out.
It's baking. It's in the broth. Okay.
Yeah, Negative Latency podcast. So check this out. And MM2K will not be a part of it, y'all. Hey, when family comes, y'all know how it is, man. I'm telling you now. I know people in the chats like, if it's family, man, none of this stuff matters. And that's what it is. So that's what my bro had to do, man. I appreciate y'all rocking with us. Now, I want to go back, man. I was talking about the xCloud. I went right into the xCloud thing and
Good.
what it means
Good.
to cloud gaming and how people feel about it. Some people are disappointed. Some people were disappointed with the performance. Some people felt that, Xbox could have stepped up and made it more available. Like my buddy, Watch Kenny Die, shout out, that I was talking about. He yesterday hit me up and was like, yo, I was trying to play on my on my whatever device, iPad, phone, whatever, right? And for some reason he had connection problems. And he showed me what the message was. Like there was this message that popped up that it wasn't available or something like that. It was some kind of error message that popped up. So he was like, man, I gotta tell you, xCloud ain't ready yet, man. Stadia's still the best. Now, this right here is from a person who don't even really, he tried Stadia. He was the first person I know that held a Stadia controller before we knew what Stadia was. Before Stadia, yeah, it was right when Stadia had gotten named or something like that. He went to GDC, got his hands on stuff and all that. And he was the first person to have a Stadia controller. But this is the same dude that was criticizing Stadia, and still every day he still does. They killed the first party studios project. He calls me Pro Joe, right? Pro Joe. They killed the first party studios, man. I'm telling you. Like they have nothing, Google. I'm telling you, there's nothing that they could do to. He's one of those dudes, right? But shout out to my boy. He might be listening right now. If you listening, pop up in the chat, man. So it's people like him and others who are just like, I can't see Stadia making it out of this whole thing that they're into. And I'm like, Rainbow Six Siege. And they're like, yeah, but I still can't see Stadia ever being able to recover from SG&E, the Ubisoft deal and all that. And then I still just can't see Stadia doing things, man. They're still dead and all this stuff. And I'm like, Google TV. And then, yeah, but man, Stadia ain't got no games, man. I'm Android TV, y'all. And then they're like, yeah, man, but what are they going to do about exclusives and all that? I said, man, Walmart streaming stick. You know what I'm saying? NVIDIA Shield Pro, all this, right? So I'm just trying to tell them that alone. Stadia is free. Is in the, overnight, it became the most accessible cloud streaming service out there, in my opinion, y'all. In my opinion, because Microsoft has Game Pass users, MM2K, they have Game Pass subscribers, man.
Yep.
But they don't have 80 million plus the potential of 1 billion, y'all. Absolutely. But I don't want to go deep into that because we've already covered it. Me, you, Clive, we touched on it, Rev and others. I don't want to go down that road, man. What's your thoughts on the whole thing? Because people, and you could come from a different angle because you know a lot of people that are heavily involved in the Xbox ecosystem and all that.
Yeah, here's the thing. I hate saying stuff like this, Storm, because it makes it sound like that we're on some higher plateau or
right.
The people on the other end of this mic are dummies, and it's absolutely not that. Absolutely not that. It's just that I always use the comparison. I'm as a tornado watcher. I may have just been further up the street. I just might have been at a different spot than you were at this moment, and I saw something before you did. That's all. The roles could have easily been reversed. What do I mean by that as it relates to this? Well, I've had a couple of years under my belt dealing with the general gaming community on podcasts, on social media, talking to not only talking to the podcasters that you guys all love and tweet and hope to get a response from or hope to get a follow from. I rub elbows with them. One of them almost came on the show, and I talked to Storm behind the scenes. Might be on next week's show, but that would be a hell of a show. But anyway, but I've talked to execs. I've talked to the people that you guys are falling head over heels over. And that doesn't make me special because they're just regular people like you and me. But what I'm saying is that sometimes when we talk about these things and we put our feelings out there, we don't have a pulse for any other thought processes beyond our own. And here's the thing. So I wanted to precurse what I'm about to say with that because it's very important. It's not that I'm trying to throw shade because I've never, Storm, with any of these platforms have ever said they're going to die. I've said I like this one better because of this, or this one might have the probability of it being more successful because of that. But I don't believe any of them are going to die. Microsoft is going to be just fine, even though they're in last place, and I may joke around about that. 15 billion ain't nothing to sneeze at, right? So they're going to be fine eventually. It's just as far as us enthusiasts, what is our best options and what are the best options that we have from our perspective? But I want to say this. Cloud gaming is technology. It's new technology. It's technology that's being tested. It's going through the test of time right now, and it needs people's trust. And a lot of people don't trust it right now. A lot of people think that the fidelity is horrible. People don't believe in the negative latency, as my good brother Storm talk about all the time. They don't believe what Google was talking about. They don't believe that Rainbow Six Vegas plays, or Siege plays, that good. They don't believe it, Storm, so they don't even try. They feel like it's a myth. There's a debate going on right now. Shout out to David Jeff. He's talking to these people that a lot of you guys may not be familiar with on the gaming scene, and they're debating now. I don't think cloud gaming is the future anymore. You know what made them say that? Storm?
What?
The release of xCloud. The release of xCloud. Now, they may have laughed and snickered at Stadia because Stadia was a meme. I've talked to these same content creators, and they said, we just like picking on Stadia. It's the new kid on the block, and they ain't got no games, so we just pick on them. Your favorite content creators behind the scenes told me this. They've told me this. But they were really hopeful that when Xbox, because they believed all the media hoopla, they were really hopeful, Storm, that when Xbox went into some type of launch, even though it's still in beta or whatever, but when Xbox made a grand announcement, hey, look, now we're available on PCs and we're giving access to the world. That when Xbox says that they're giving you access to the world, that's going to mean something.
Hey, man, I got hit real quick with the Orion Tech, man. They have this now. It's over for Stadia. I mean, so I know what you're talking about, bro. Go ahead, man.
But the problem is that you can have whatever tech you want. It's all about execution. And people were disappointed with the execution that they're seeing right now. They're disappointed so much so, Storm, that they're talking about cloud game. Stadia was a hoax to me. Amazon Luna, what the hell is that? We heard Shadow went bankrupt. They laugh at GFN. We praise GFN for having 10 million users. They say GFN was in beta for 5 years and only got 10 million users. That's horrible. That's crud. So the last hope was xCloud. And here's what they're saying, Storm. Like the old NWA adage. Here's what they think about you. Check this out. Let me show you something, other words. This is a quote from David Jaffe. He's going, now David Jaffe, if y'all don't know who he is the creator, the originator, non-debater of God of War. That's his brainchild. He created God of War. We had the luxury at Broadband Bullies to sit and do a podcast with him. And he ran a special one-on-one podcast with Z, limited mini-series, whatever you want to call it. And he's been on the circuit, right? He's been debating people because he's an advocate for cloud gaming in the future. Now, his preference is Luna, and that's fine. But he's an advocate for cloud gaming nonetheless. He's been debating all of your favorite podcasters now on, is cloud gaming even a fathomable thing to look forward to in the future? Now, we know better, but again, y'all got to remember, perception is 9/10 of the law. And the perception in the general gaming community right now, after this, whatever launch you want to call of xCloud, is not so. So he's out there fighting for his life. He's like R. Kelly sitting there with, what's her name, with Grace, or whatever the hell her name is, with CBS Morning. Fighting for my life. The problem is, he says, you are assuming the input lag will be noticeable to the majority of players. Sure, if that is foundational to your opinion about streaming, you won't find many, and certainly not me, who disagree with you. But that is not everyone's experience with streaming. So what happened was, people were in belief that when the Xbox Series X blades were released, that would translate to Xbox Series X performance on the cloud. They don't understand about the codecs, the negative latency, all that other stuff, the bandwidth. They don't understand networking. They don't understand that. They automatically assume that we had some people that are in the know that still thought that was going to automatically mean that the Xbox Series X performance was going to be experienced to some degree in the cloud. And that was wrong. So when people like this, who is another well-known entity in the gaming world, though Kofi Press Start Podcast, if y'all don't know who Kofi is, creator and host of Press Start Podcast, very well-known podcast. He's a PC gamer. And they're very technical. So they know a lot about technical stuff, right? The cloud so much, Storm, maybe not. But they know a lot about the technical stuff as it comes to mainstream gaming. He made a video. And I urge you guys to see the video. Xbox Game Pass is the best deal in gaming, but xCloud, where he's dogging xCloud. Him and others no longer have faith in cloud gaming because they don't understand the tech. But another part of that, Storm, is they were sold pipe dreams, and the pipe dreams that were being sold about xCloud were not checked. xCloud is going to be the best. Well, hold on. The stream quality, but Phil Spencer said, Aaron Greenberg waved his arms, Microsoft Xbox fridge, like GFN was checked, Stadia was definitely checked, Luna's checked, Shadow's checked, even PlayStation Now was checked. xCloud? No, because whenever questions came about xCloud, it was either Phil Spencer said, Storm, or but Game Pass. Now that's not working. Now you got other entities like Kofi and others bigger than him debating Jaffe now about the stability of cloud gaming. So my message in that regards is we know better that cloud gaming does have a future. I argue in particular, though, that the future for cloud gaming is not as immediate as others think. I get there's a lot of possibilities with it. I get that the TV rollout and all that stuff is going to have some significant impact. But I follow the analysts on this one. I think it's going to be a while for it to become mainstream. But that's okay. Don't mean it's in trouble. It's growing. It has a great rate of growth. But in the meantime, the thing that's going to make it acceptable for mainstream gamers is trust. Now, they don't trust that Stadia and Luna has the games. And Stadia Luna's working on that. But they at least got to know that if you got the games, that the performance is possible. So now they look at xCloud and they don't like the performance. So my message to my cloud gaming brethren and sisterin is, when we see these issues with xCloud, just like how y'all don't let it go with Stadia, bring it up with xCloud too. Cloud gaming does perform well under the right conditions and circumstances. And I get that there's people that may have different experiences to where xCloud is fantastic for them, but this is technology. You don't judge technology on the lowest common denominator. Shout out to my brother Akash Monger. I'm going to shut up, Storm, and give it back to you because you've been doing a way better job than I have. But shout out to my brother Akash Monger. He's probably saying, well, damn, you keep bringing me up every show like I'm the third member of SSC Podcast. Me and him don't always agree, but we always have great philosophical debates. One of the things that he was on Twitter saying, Storm, is he was like, look, I don't like the approach that Xbox is taking. It just looks like that they're tinkering with the cloud and just putting a whole bunch of games on there. This is Microsoft. They should do better than this. And even though I was trying to be, I was actually trying to be lenient towards Microsoft. This was revolving around them using Rainway in order to do something on the cloud. Even though I was trying to be lenient with him, I totally agree with his assessment. So this is stuff that we got to pay attention for. If you love cloud gaming, pay attention to this debate. There's going to be another one. King Thrash, Storm. King Thrash and David Jaffe's going to debate about this. This is getting crazy. If y'all care about cloud gaming and you care about the general public being educated about it, I mean, we can't play whack-a-mole with everybody, but we got to put these platforms' feet to the fire. The Stadia got to keep bringing the games, yes. And like my brother Storm be saying, when's that AK-120 coming? Yes. But when it comes to xCloud, the answer cannot be because Game Pass, because this is what happens. Big-time YouTubers are now trying to put the lights out on cloud gaming altogether. So a rising tide lift all boats. Let's make sure that all these platforms are working to their best, and let's make sure that people are educated on this. And that starts with us because we're the ones in the know. So if we don't give things a pass and we properly educate and say, hey, look, xCloud ain't in trouble. It's going to get better eventually, but here's what it's able to do. Here's what it's not able to do. Here's some other people that can do what they're not doing. So don't judge all of cloud gaming based on this. Don't judge all of cloud gaming based on that. It's a variety of different things. But we don't serve that purpose and serve the education of cloud gaming when we give xCloud a pass. Now we're seeing the fruits of that dislabor, and I don't know when it's going to die down, but it's going to take us to be on the educating end to help that. So those are my thoughts. Big cloud debate that's out there. John, check out David Jaffe. Check out my bro's channel. You can check out other content creators. They're going at him, man. This is getting crazy. What do you think about all this, Storm?
I gotta say what Snow Bunny Gaming would say, man. Shout out to Bunny, man. She would say it's looking kind of spooky, Storm. You know what I mean? That's what she would say. And the reason it's looking spooky is because yes, you had it is. I have to say this, y'all, because people speak freely. So do I. You know what I mean? Don't let anybody silence you if you have something important to say, whether it be about Stadia or for Stadia. Right? Here's the deal. I remember people saying. I'm just going to throw lines out there. World's most powerful console. True 4K. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that, right? When that stuff comes out, people, like some consumers, they get hype about that, man. Like myself and others. Believe it or not, there's millions like me who care about that kind of performance in 4K and all that stuff, right? 8K and all that, right?
Absolutely.
So, when you start hearing about that, you start thinking Microsoft has what it takes, even though MM2K and others have proven that the track record is not all golden when it comes to Xbox and certain announcements and moves that they're making, right? Like it's just that's just how it is. That's a fact, right? But when you look at the fact that you know, the Series X is out here upgrading, looking like a star, It's definitely slapping people and demanding respect right now when it comes to the upgrades that they're making for the actual Series X hardware, man, and software. All that trickery that they're talking about, RDNA2 and all that stuff, y'all, we got to pay attention to it because then you could better understand what the hell is going on. Then you could become a part of the conversations that's going on is how I feel about it, right? Now, you could choose to not worry about it and stay out of it. That's fine. But if you're the type of person that gets annoyed, I'm so tired of this. I'm so tired of these fanboy console wars. That's because you never really took the time to understand how they originated and why. You know what I'm saying? People care about their products. They care about their way of gaming. They care about it so much so that they don't want to try anything else. That's why you're not seeing a whole lot of Xbox gamers that we see and hear coming over to Stadia right now, even though Stadia has the best performance. Now, maybe that might change in the near future. But we're hearing that Xbox has the world's most powerful console and Game Pass. Game Pass, 1,000 more times. Actually, an infinite amount of times, man. You've heard more about Game Pass than any other service in history. That should say a lot right there, y'all. That should say a lot right now. You would think that Game Pass is pushing like hundreds of millions of Xboxes right now. Like, that's how it sounds, man. So, MM2K, the way I see it is that people were thinking that, world's most powerful Series X blades, man. It's about to be the takeover that we've been waiting for. Stadia didn't do it right. Let's party and show them how we do it on the green side.
Yep, exactly.
And listen, I have a console for all the new people. I have a console that's on the green side. It's the world's most powerful Series S. I mean, X. I'm sorry. Not the S as in Sam. No shots at. Hey, first of all, that's a hell of a console, tremendous value. But I need the X because I'm a 4K type of gamer. That's the type of gamer I am, man. For the people that don't need that, then you got a hell of a deal in the Series S, from what I'm hearing. Right? So now, if you think about it, man, like if you're on the green side, you're like, yo, Microsoft was about to do it. I'm telling you, that's what's taking so long. They pushed back a year. We heard all this. We heard all this coming out from people's mouths and their fingertips and all that, right? Xbox is waiting. When they come, they're going to bring it. They're going to do it right, and Stadia is going to be in trouble. And now we are seeing that all those exclusive games and all these big-time day and date releases don't mean a damn thing if they're not highly playable in the cloud. We're not talking on the consoles. They're going to do good on the consoles, right?
Yeah,
I hope.
Exactly.
Flight Sim has already been, has been touted at 30 frames per second. I know that's been announced or whatever. Maybe they have a performance mode at 1080p. Who knows? But this is about the cloud, y'all. Right now, what people have been getting their hands on is not that kill Stadia type of experience over on xCloud.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not that experience on GeForce Now because Rainbow Six Siege just showed people why all these stadiums are on Twitter talking trash. And it's so disgusting to hear them out there, see them out there doing it every damn day, partying about old games like Rainbow Six Siege and all that. That's what you're hearing, man. Like they don't understand what we're dealing with because they haven't touched the controller. So the number one thing that Stadia, I know that several people I heard, I remember Jack Buse and others saying all people need to do is get it in their hands. Now I know Rome Rush. Shout out. Let me clarify something. My homie Rome Rush, man, big PS5 gamer. At the same time, he's a straight up consumer, a smart one at that, who's not going to take no dumb stuff from even the company that he really loves the most right now, and that's Sony. But Rome Rush tried Stadia. He said that it was impressive. The tech was impressive, and then some people went crazy. Oh, Rome, you leaving PlayStation? Man, yeah, if y'all know Rome Rush, you know damn well Rome's not going anywhere. That's like Doc Dark leaving Xbox, man. These brothers ain't going nowhere, man. But because Rome got his hands on it, he said, what? The tech is impressive. And this is somebody who basically said, nah, Storm, we used to have debates, me, him, and Snow Bunny. I can't see it. On Yimi's Jenga Gaming. I can't see it, Storm. It's just not for me, man. I'm not down with that digital stuff. I don't want these companies having control of how I game and what I game on and all that. And I said, damn, bro, I gotta respect that, Rome. But he put the, he put the video out there, and I respect this dude, man. Like y'all don't understand. Like he put the video out there the same way Dark did, man. Doc put the video out there, and he was impressed. So more and more people now. This right here is a time where if somebody were to say, man, let me go see what all this fuss is about Stadia. You keep talking about xCloud, MM2K, Project Storm, but what about Stadia? Let me get my hands on this for real. Let me finally try. It's free. And when they do, you're going to hear them saying things like probably like, this is all right, but it ain't like xCloud at first, right? They're going to be like, oh, okay, this feels kind of smooth. You know what I'm saying? I could play this. You know what I mean? It is kind of smooth. Then they'll sleep on it overnight, possibly, right? And then we go the next day saying, yo, man, I got to get back on Stadia for real. This is the way it's supposed to be played. And so that's what Stadia would hope would happen, right? For people to really realize that Stadia works so well. It works so well, y'all, that if something happened to my PC today, if something happened to my Series X today, I would not miss them. I would miss them, but I won't miss them much. I'll just say that much. I won't miss them much. And that my PC has a 3080 because Stadia came out and is doing something new. We have never seen cloud gaming perform like this, y'all. We're on the cusp of something great. That's why I rock with the cloud so heavily. It's not because it's more powerful and impressive than my PC. No, it's not that it's even more powerful than my Series X in all situations. That's not it. It's about, this is the MM. It is the start of something great. If we just go ahead and give it a chance, man. If we keep on, we could sit down and play games the way we want to play them. Give it a chance because it is the inevitable future. Companies are getting behind it. It is going to happen unless they all pump the brakes and say, nope, we're not doing it right now. It's just not ready. We'll rather focus on VR, the new VR or something. I can't see that happening though, y'all. We're here. Cloud gaming is real. So I don't know. That's just how I feel about it, man.
I think I know we've tried our best, Storm, to try to get people to understand this and focus on this. But shout out to Victor Del Maestro in the chat. He echoes it perfectly. He says, however, I want more. That's what it is.
Boy, let me talk about that real quick, man. 1080p 60. I didn't get a chance to talk to the people since I've been mad about 1080p 60, right? So let me throw this out there real quick. All this time you've been hearing Series X blades, the upgrades were going to be happening. MM2K told me, bro, nah, man, read this. Go back and look at the whatever. Go back and look at this announcement that was made and all this. Go back and read this, Storm. Don't get too excited. And I'm like, man, we've been through this before, MM2K. And you've been right a lot of times, but what the hell do you know? What the hell are you talking about? This is the Series X. I have a Series X. Do you have a Series X? And this is how it's going down, y'all. It's going down behind the scenes. I'm like, xCloud has potential, bro. It's going to be scary when they come out and they can upgrade. Microsoft is going to do it because they've been telling us about the cloud. They already showed us Crackdown. Okay, Crackdown wasn't what it was supposed to be, but still, they got the cloud tech. They got Orion. I'm hearing people, bring that up over and over again. They brought Orion. They got Orion now. They can do this. They really can do this, y'all, to compete with Stadia. Paris Lilly even dropped a tweet out there. Remember that? About, what Stadia, what xCloud might be able to do and all this stuff, man. So it's kind of like, that's just, it's crazy, y'all. It's crazy that nobody can take down what I think is the king of cloud gaming. It's just, it's a fact.
This is what's even crazier to me, Storm, is that, and again, I know we all go through like a thought process where we're trying to break down what our personal opinions are of this, but that's why it's important for us to follow. You have to follow Microsoft. I learned that years ago. If you don't follow Microsoft, because like for instance, last night they had an article, or they did a sit down with IGN where Phil Spencer said something to the effect that Game Pass was profitable. But then Phil Spencer the same day sat down, I think, with The Verge or VentureBeat, I think it was, where he said, well, when it comes to profitable, we don't look at it in the traditional sense. You know what I'm saying? So what Microsoft does, and a lot of these companies do, but Microsoft does do it more frequently, and this is coming from a self-proclaimed former Xbot, that you got to follow Microsoft thoroughly. If you didn't watch that Gamer Stack last year, then you would have been caught off guard. I watched the Gamer Stack. Shout out to Heath Stevens. Heath, if you still in the chat, Heath was there. This is why I bring this stuff up, because the video footage is there. I did a live stream of the Gamer Stack where Microsoft said, look, when we release these Series X blades, they're going to have the capabilities of 4 Xbox One S blades, and we're going to continue to upgrade from there. But what you're actually seeing is you're seeing Series S blades. I mean, not Series S blades. You're seeing Series S capabilities in a custom Xbox Series X blade. But I knew that from all the way back then. That's why you got to watch this stuff. You got to follow Microsoft thoroughly and connect the dots. But the biggest thing that always bewilders me, Storm, is we know that Microsoft has what they call master engineers. And we know Google has them and Amazon has them. That means the best engineers in the world. Now, arguably, and I'm not the resident expert of this, I hear that the expertise of the engineers at each companies are relatively close, but I hear that the rank that they go in, and I could be wrong, is Google, Amazon, and Microsoft. You know what I'm saying? But again, they're still relatively close in their capabilities.
Right.
So these people get paid a lot of money. So just think about this, Storm. Google has been cooking internally this technology for a long time, for 8 years, right? And granted, Xbox started a few years later. But what sense does it make if these are master engineers that are working day in and day out to come up with this unbelievable technology? That it would take Google 8 years to get to this point, but Microsoft could just bust it out in 3. Like, why would Google have those engineers?
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? Why would they even pay their engineers if Microsoft engineers could just catch up in 3 years? You see what I'm saying? So that right there told me that there is a considerable gap there. Now, will xCloud get to a point to where, even though there might still be a gap between them and Stadia, they get to a point to where gamers are satisfied with what xCloud puts out and say, this is good enough? Yeah, that's possible. It's the same thing with the PS4 Pro. Xbox One X, last generation, was beating the PS4 Pro in performance on paper. But the PS4 Pro was good enough, and it had the games to where people overlooked that and said, I'd rather just go with the PS4 Pro. So you could have that threat there, but we're not there yet. You know what I'm saying? xCloud, Xbox is trying to start off with its lineup, Storm, and build its tech up. What Stadia and Luna is trying to do is they got the tech, but they're trying to build their lineup up. So they're trying to get to the same. They're trying to get to the same apex, but from different points. It's like PUBG. You know what I'm saying? They just dropped off at different points of the map. But this is all just a grabbing weapons, taking people out here in their phase. This ain't the final battle in the middle. You know what I'm saying? The final battle in the middle is still years to come. So xCloud isn't there with the performance. Stadia and Luna might not be there with the games yet, but they're going to keep working. But what we got to do, again, I hate to sound like a broken record, we got to keep these companies' feet to the fire and make sure that they keep making improvements. Yes, we need Stadia in particular to keep working on the lineup and bring out them 8K 120 blade, at least the 120 side of it. Bring that ray tracing, that software-based ray tracing via Vulkan out there because people want it. We need them to bring that out there when they can. And we also need xCloud, because they got the library, but we need them to build on their performance, all right? We cannot be easy on one because they're currently doing something in another area. Both of these platforms, regardless of what end that they're starting from, they got to make inroads in particularly serious areas, and we got to hold their feet to the fire. Else, as you can see, major podcasters and content creators, they're trying to bury this right now. We are the ones. We could be the educators, the one to let people know, okay, that's what you're getting with xCloud right now. But they do have to be better in this. Y'all, we got to do that. If we don't do that, I don't know, Storm. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
those are my thoughts on it.
I tell you one thing I do know is that Marcus G. Knight, man, we need to call the chat police, man. Call the chat police right now because Marcus G. Knight is coming up in here committing man, what is this, man? What kind of crime is this? He's spitting facts right here when he says this, MM2K. If AWS could have done it, AWS would have done it. If Azure could have done it, Azure would have done it.
Yeah.
Google did it. Now that right there is the reality that
like
should
that.
smack people in the face, just like Xbox games and all of these future titles that's coming in that deal that they made. That slaps the competition in the face when it's time for argument's sake, right? But I'm telling y'all right here, Marcus, you just did it. You just said it. I don't even know. I can't disagree with it. And that's what I'm saying. Your competition, we see all the other reactionary moves, in my opinion, they're reactionary moves. You see the moves that's happening from Microsoft. Every time Stadia comes up with something big, here's Microsoft. It goes back from when Destiny 2 was going to be a game that was included with Pro. You know what I'm saying? Then Xbox hurried up, and shortly after that, maybe that deal was already in discussion or whatever, but they came out and dropped Destiny 2. I'm just giving y'all examples of what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Stadia's out here setting trends and setting the way of cloud gaming, man. Like, in my opinion. Now, GeForce Now, we got to talk about that a little bit. We got to talk about PlayStation Now, because I think
before you bring that up real quick, Storm, let me say,
get that.
Shout out to Geek the Sneak with the $5. He says, I love my Xbox Series S, but I've been playing my Stadia more the past 2 months or so. I even got a friend playing on Stadia now. That's what's up. Different strokes for different folks, man. It's the way that it is. And that's what Stadia is hoping to see. Go ahead, Storm. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and see, but Geek the Sneak wouldn't be the only one that we've heard say this, man.
Exactly. Exactly.
They converted at least one or two people to try Stadia. And when they finally get their hands on it, they can't deny. It's hard to deny that this tech is excellent, y'all. I'm talking about even in this early stage. And you say that they've been doing this for 8 years, but I think they've been doing this for 20 years or whatever, man. From what I've read, like, Google has been doing this for a long time, they said, y'all. It's not something new. I mean, it's amazing, man. That's all I'm going to say about that right there. It's just amazing, MM2K, that we're here having these conversations, man. But GeForce Now, excellent. Excellent way to play games, man. Ray tracing, if you care about that stuff, GeForce Now and Shadow and Boosteroid maybe, and I don't know if Boosteroid could do it, but those PC level services can definitely offer you something like those high end features like a ray tracing or a DLSS for NVIDIA cards, and AMD probably FSR be implemented if it hasn't been already in some of these services, man. So, but GeForce Now, again, they have their limits, they have their limitations. You know what I mean? They have their shortcomings, just like Stadia does. Like, again, the no storefront is a big one. The waiting in queues and all that stuff is another big one, y'all. Like, the fact that some of these games, these big titles like Grand Theft Auto and maybe GTA, I don't know, man. I know some games are not there yet. Some games are just not on. You can't play them on GeForce Now, right?
Yeah.
So they they still need to get some things together. Luna, same thing, man. Luna, I don't even talk that much trash about Luna. You know what I'm saying? Because Luna, to me right now, is just they're like the little homie right now, man, that has potential to do big things and make it to the league, man. They can make it to the NBA or the NFL with a little bit of just working out and flex and getting the muscles up and all that stuff. And then all of a sudden, because really, I've been saying it over and over, Luna, if I had to bet on one horse other than Stadia, it'd be Luna.
Yeah.
Because Luna has already been showing me that, for one, their tech works well, is very consistent. Now, there are some curveballs we could throw in. Nintendo can come in here and slap all of us in the mouth. Like, y'all thought we weren't serious about this when we dropped a sample of Control. We let y'all play Control, right, in Hitman or whatever. And then y'all slept on us, right? But now, boom, here starting today, all the Mario games that we've ever made and all that, Zelda, Metroid, all of that in the cloud instantly right now. Click the button, bang, all Nintendo classics. They could take over the damn world, right? Now, same with PS Now. PS Now can go, man, we got all these exclusives over here. We can hit 1440p, 60, or whatever the case is. That's good enough for us. If it's good enough for you, they can stay 1080p 60 with that performance that I played on PS Now. It's wonderful. And they could drop some of those titles like a Ghost of Tsushima and all of those, and then it'll be, I mean, come on, man. That's reason to celebrate is what I'm saying, y'all. So
Absolutely.
all of these services definitely have some pros, man. It's not like beat 'em up time, but man, we come back at that. We counter all of those arguments about Stadia being killed by xCloud. That's what we do most of the time. And I support Xbox, MM2K. You don't care for Xbox as much as you used to, but you still understand realistic moves, bro.
Yeah.
So this is why all of this is important, man. It's not about here we go again. My Stadia is the better than your service and all that. Even though it is, because if we're going by the facts. But hold on, because I got one
counting though.
You can see me right now. I got one finger in the air. Hold on now. But just hold on. Because last time I checked, Stadia is the GOAT when it comes to this cloud stuff, man. When it comes to how you pick up the device and play. Even over Wi-Fi for a lot of people that I'm hearing now, even over Wi-Fi. I'm not hearing the same thing about xCloud, y'all. So this is why we're talking about this right now, because it's like pump your brakes, y'all. Let us celebrate the good things that just happened over on Stadia in the land of electric air. Let us do us, man. Let the people go ahead and make their own choices. Don't tell them that xCloud is going to kill Stadia and that's going to be the death of Stadia, because then you're going to be looking crazy out here. You're going to be looking crazy out here. You heard? So this is what it's all about, man. Hopefully we'll start to see that minimum. If we don't, hopefully there's a reduction in this whole thing when it comes to xCloud versus Stadia now. Because see, when people were like mice, I'm sure they had the controller in their hand, got some cookies and milk right next to them. I'm about to play some xCloud. I'm finally about to see
Gears of War.
I mean, well, Gears of War was dope on. Let me just say that. I'm sorry. Let me Halo and all that, right? I booted up Halo and then I realized that it was not the experience that I thought. Let me go on another game. Let me boot up Forza Horizon. Oh, it runs smooth, but damn, it ain't. Damn, it don't look like Stadia. Like Project Storm be dropping these 4K Stadia videos, man. They don't look like that. All right, whatever. Let me try. And see, that's what you got to do, man. You have to really. It's like you just got to keep it down the middle. Keep it real, man. That's all.
Yeah, you got to keep it down the middle. You got to keep it real.
Now, I'm sorry. Now, one more thing, because I swear, you can play GTA 5 and stuff like that on xCloud. That right there, they should get a huge kudos for, bro. We have to keep this in mind, and I had to mention it. That's why I wouldn't dare cut you off in any other situation, bro. But I had to say this because we do understand that games that's coming day and date, and you might want to talk about this too, bro. These big games they're going to be coming day and date, and they're going to allow people to play them away from their console, man. So what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think that it's important for all of us to understand that, again, these are talented companies that have success. They have their flaws, but they have success. They've started their venture into cloud gaming from different entry points. Xbox is trying to pivot off of its lineup, off of its established relationships with publishers and stuff like that, and they're going to build their tech using that as their springboard, their games, right? Luna and Google don't have the games, but they have tech. They have their, shout out to NerdNest. They bring this up all the time. They have the cloud. They have cloud controllers, which I think makes a significant difference. They point this out. They said, notice any of all of the cloud platforms that don't have their own dedicated controller, how they perform significantly less, maybe opposite of Shadow, but they perform significantly less than the ones that do have their own controllers. And I, again, for the most part, I agree with that opposite. I think Shadow still performs very well without one. With that being said, Stadia and Luna is pivoting from its tech and is going to build its game lineup from there. Both are important. Tech and games are important. You want games because that's what people want to play. But people want to know that if they're converting to a new tech, they're not giving up something that is dear to them. People don't want to give up just to say, oh, I'm on the cloud and I can play on my phone. They don't want to give up a whole bunch of fidelity. They don't want ghosting screens. They don't want a whole bunch of latency. So none of these platforms are doing great things, but none of them are at the apex just yet. So for any of us to come out too soon and say this one is going to die or that one's going to die I think is not within order. And we're seeing the fruits of that right now. Because if we get people's hopes up, I'm going to go to it one more time, one more again. If we get people's hopes up, you get what my brother David Jaffe is fighting for his life out here for right now. And Kofi is out here making videos about. So let's not do that. Let's go with the slow, progressive pace that these platforms need. Let's make sure, though, because they are getting money from us, that they are building, they are still supplying and they're building and giving to us routinely. But we got to understand this is a 1 to 2% business for a reason. And the most important thing for this way of gaming that we love, in order for it to get over, it has to gain the trust of the mainstream gamers. And you don't gain the trust of the mainstream gamers trying to force down their throat a cloud platform that just has a bunch of games on it that doesn't perform well, and vice versa. A cloud platform that performs well that doesn't have games on it. So let's be mindful of both of those, and let's understand that both sides are building, and let's enjoy the growth. We can be critical, but enjoy the growth. Let's not spell doom and gloom or I got to have what I have now. Or, I'm paraphrasing what Victor Del Maestro so elegantly said earlier. I know I butchered it. But let's enjoy this growth right now. Let's be happy that we're founders. And I don't just mean from the Stadia sense, but we are not the idiot herd. We don't have to be led and told what to like. That we saw something that we enjoyed, we've attached ourselves to it, and we're watching it grow. It's okay for us to be a peculiar few right now. But let's watch this platform grow. Let's talk and let's talk reasonably and critically without spelling doom and gloom where it's not even there yet. It's too soon to talk about that for any of these platforms. And let's hopefully build the trust of the mainstream gamer that will help us spring forward. With that said, Storm, I think we could cover one more topic for a couple minutes before we go to the after show. If you're okay with that.
Yeah, I'm good. It's about to storm soon, but we got time though. We got time.
All right, we got a couple minutes. Let's talk about it. Let me see here. We got it right here. Next up on the Stadia Streets of Rage 4 on July 15th and Dark World arriving this summer. Let me just read what it says real quick. I want to get your thoughts, Storm. Today we're excited to announce more games coming this summer to the Stadia store. On July 15th, Streets of Rage 4 brings the latest entry in the legendary beat-em-up series to Stadia with new mechanics, hand-drawn visuals, and electrifying soundtrack to boot. Later this summer, Dark World will creep you out on the Stadia store with a new open-world take on survival horror. Storm, 2 new games announced. Remember, our good friends at 9 to 5 Google said there's a drought that stated they ain't announced new games in a while. Now we got some. What are your thoughts on these games coming to the platform?
Yeah, I think each and every game that comes, man, the developers work hard on them, and they might not all be for us, MM2K and chat. They might not be for us, right? But there are some that we love. So bring all the games. Streets of Rage, classic game. I remember playing the very first one. A lot of people are going to be excited about that one. The other ones that we're seeing, dope.
Yep.
I'm excited about the fact that we got the what's the one that John Scar highlighted, man, the football one, man,
Oh, the
street
now
power
there's
football or whatever, something like that.
yeah, there's the
And
now those are the Stadia Pro
those
games.
are the pro games, right? But these are the game. I know. I'm thinking about that one
Street
right
Power
now as well.
Football.
Yeah, I'm thinking about that one right now. As far as like all the games that we're getting and all that stuff. So, they all make sense. They might not be for me, all of them, man,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just gonna add to the library of games that all platforms have right now. They have
Yeah,
a genre, a selection of games that's for everybody, man. And
and that's what you
the
need.
more of these, right, and the more of these games we see, the better it is for the platform. But let me say something, man. Let me highlight what John Lugwitz said, man. John Lugwitz said, I just need Stadia to impress girls. Now, it might seem like Stadia is full of like guys who play all the time, and that's who you're hearing, you know what I'm saying? You hearing in the chat and talking the most trash and all that stuff. But there's a number of female gamers out there, man. I will say that much. But I thought that was important that he brought that up, man. It made me think
Yeah,
about the fact that girls do play Stadia. Women, they do play.
yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Great shout out, man. So,
Hmm.
with that said, yeah, I'm looking at the Stadia Pro games. Yeah, I'm glad Terraria. I got to keep it jiggy. I'm glad Terraria's Stadia Pro because that was the only way I was buying that game. I mean, again, or that was the only way I was getting access to that game. After that stunt that they pulled, and that's just me. That's just a me thing. Again, I'm not the Stadia bodyguard or whatever, but just again, we're here trying to help boost this platform again because we want more players on it and we want to get the word out as much as we can. You know what I'm saying? Whenever you got something good, this is a good ass piece of steak, Storm. You better go get you
Right.
some of that good ass steak. Everybody does that. So it doesn't mean that we're shills, for the steak companies. Just that we think it's good and we think that you might enjoy it too. But whenever you have silly stuff that happened, like what happened with Terraria, you're not getting my money. But Stadia, well, I guess you are getting my money because Stadia paid for them to be in pro, and I do play Stadia Pro, but I wasn't going to buy it individually. But that's good that you see a game, and it's a game of quality. It gets a lot of accolades that's hitting Stadia Pro. Then you got Moonlighter. People have talked about that game. Dark Side Detective, a lot of people have given that kudos. And like you said, it's good that Street Power Football Pros in there. And then we had Rainbow Six Siege that is available now, and Get Packed is getting an upgrade. I mean, as far as the month is concerned, I say it's good. It's good. Am I jumping out of shoes and socks? Maybe
Nah,
not for
nah,
that, but it's good.
but that's not going to happen every month. We know that.
Exactly.
We realize that. You know what I'm saying? You might not
Exactly.
find what we call those bangers in every month, but you're all going to find that millions of people have enjoyed at least. I know last time I checked, over 1 million people enjoyed Terraria or whatever, and
Yeah.
these games are something that they're games to look forward to for future Stadia gamer families and stuff like that, man.
Yep.
So I like it.
Absolutely. All right. Well, with that said, thank you to our host and one and only host. I was just on the bleachers. Yeah! It's Project Storm. Thank you, brother, for holding it down. Man, you know what? In the after show, I'll talk about what happened, man. That was crazy what happened. Golly! But we'll talk about that a little bit in the after show, and we'll talk a little bit about some of these games. Storm said it's about to storm, no pun intended, where he's at. So we'll have a few moments there. So definitely join us. If you're not a member of the channel, hit that join button, become a member. If you are a part of the prescription tier or the short shot tier, you'll be able to enjoy this after party. We're gonna talk some games, talk about the crazy moment that I just had. But Storm did a hell of a job, man. Matter of fact,
And I'm used to trying to, I'm used to running my mouth, man. That's not a problem anymore. You know what I'm saying? I was just making sure that you were going to be good.
yeah. Hey, look, we had more people here when Storm was taking over what I opposed to when I came back. So that says enough for you. That's why I told y'all put them ones in that chat. My bro killed
And,
it. But with that
hey,
said,
all
hey
the
Storm,
things, I
what's
appreciate
your final
everybody, man.
thoughts,
I
bro?
appreciate everybody for hanging out. Y'all know how we do it. Technical difficulties will happen, y'all, but we'll
Yep.
get it back together though. When we don't get it back together, there's cause for concern. But we always get it back together. Yeah, I just had a major outage yesterday. My whole PC froze during my Rainbow Six day one stream, and y'all know how I felt about that. But I wasn't even mad. I wasn't like embarrassed, mad, or nothing. I was like, let me start it over. Let me
Yep.
restart this computer and keep the show going in there. And I had, if not everybody, mostly everybody was there for that too. I appreciate y'all.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you to all of y'all. Thank you, Rev. Thank you, Vic. Appreciate y'all and all of y'all that are there that was showing support, man. Yeah, definitely throw those ones up for my brother Storm, man. He killed it. He killed it. With that said, shout out to everybody. Storm, can you real quick? I mean, your link is in the description, but let the good people know where they can find you, brother.
You can find me right here, y'all. I will be playing a lot of Stadia, maybe some Doom Eternal with the update. You all have to try. If you have Doom Eternal, you have to go and look at these changes. You know what I'm saying? Now there are some downsides. I told y'all there's some downsides. So when I make the videos, you'll see what I'm talking about. And it's not like deal breakers. It's just something wrong with the texturing or the shadows or whatever at times. But man, that upgrade was worth it as far as what I could see. So you can find me over there at Project Storm right here on YouTube, y'all. Just look for the avatar that you see, in the chat or whatever, and you'll find me. Just type in Project Storm Stadia, Project Storm 8K, Project Storm 4K. You'll find me. And you can find me on Twitter at the Nephophiliac. And stay tuned for other messages regarding the Revolutionary Storm and Yimi Zhang of Gaming, because there will be no YMYOG or Yimi Zhang of Gaming podcast this Sunday, y'all, because we're going to be doing our 4th of July celebration. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Kick it with the family. All right, with that said, thank you all for joining us. You know where to find me here, Stadia Dosage, or on MM2K videos someday again. You know what I'm saying? You can catch me on Twitter at MM2K. You can catch Project Storm at that. Go ahead, say that before I butcher it, brother. You know me, I had my old
Nephophiliac. The Nephophiliac.
You know, I like to say the Nephrophiliac. You know what I'm saying? I got to put that fro in there.
We know you put your own twist on everything, so that's cool. But yeah, man, it means somebody, a lover of clouds, y'all. Absolutely. Is all related to this cloud gaming thing right now.
I liked how you was breaking that down yesterday, bro, on your stream, man. It was good. It was good stuff, man. Check out Storm's stream, man. Grace Jang was there. Shout out to Grace. And shout out to because Rainbow Six is live, bro. Shout out to the old dirty blasters. I got all y'all entries, man. We're gonna be reaching out to y'all soon, man. It's just been a crazy week. And shout out to my homie German X. I didn't forget about you, bro. I ain't been to the post office yet. We about to take care of that, all right? So just bear with me, okay? With that said, appreciate all of y'all. Thank y'all very much. Join us for the after hours, which is going to be, it's going to be on the, well, it won't be on the light side and enthusiasm, but it won't be as long as it normally is because, we got to be careful with our stuff. But with that said,
stuff is about to get real out here, man. Flash floods all night and all that stuff. So, where I am.
All right. With that said, y'all have a wonderful gaming day. Peace.